Bitcoin is crashing, exactly what we predicted. Let's get into the charts. Welcome back to Max Trades Crypto. Today we're going to be going over a few scenarios on the 4-hourly time frame. Now, starting on our first scenario, we can see that Bitcoin is dropping quite heavily, right? So please, in a bull market like this, people tend to get very, very bearish or very, very mediocre and small moves. Don't eliminate the fact that we have had a bull market from $15,000 to over 100 grand, right? So let's dive into this chart and not have and push our bearish ideas onto the chart originally, right? It doesn't make sense to push bearish ideas in a bull market. So starting on our first scenario, we have a 5-wave structure to the upside in the previous one in an ending diagonal, and we are now looking at this drop currently, right? At the moment on this drop on the 4-hourly time frame, we have a WXY. A WXY consists of 3-wave structures down, 3-wave up, and 3 waves down, right? Unlike an ABC, which is a 5, 3, and then a wave 5, we have 3, 3, 3, right? So we are currently looking at that WXY to finish this higher degree wave 4, and then followed by this gain some momentum and volume and go to the wave 5. Now, if we look closer on the 1-hourly time frame here, we can see that price is looking quite good for this scenario. We have a 3-wave structure down in W, a 3-wave structure in X, and then the A, B, C 3-wave structure in Y. Currently, we are in that wave C, forming possibly a 5-wave structure to the downside. Now, if we look a little bit closer, we can see in this ABC, we have the 5 waves down in blue in wave A, the 3 waves up in wave B. This 3 waves up was on our YouTube channel, on our Discord channel. We told you that the B wave is going to be rejected very, very soon, and then followed by a 5-wave structure down in wave C. Where this targets is the 1-to-1 of the wave A, which is sitting at around $104,600. If we don't reach there, there is another target box of $107,980 on the chart. These are our minimum areas for a wave 3. So $104 to $107 or $8,000. Then after that W would be done, we would either look for this wave 4 to be finished, and then we would look for massive moves towards the upside, or we would look for now another 3-wave structure up, 3-wave structure down, and only then move up again after this X and wave Y. Now, if we go to our second scenario, which is slightly more bearish at the moment, we have a finished wave 1 towards the upside. Now, if we have a finished wave 1 towards the upside instead of a wave 5 or a wave 3 towards the upside, right? Remember, we have in the other scenario this larger degree wave 3 in a sub-degree wave 5. But now currently we are looking at a leading diagonal instead of an ending diagonal towards the upside, followed by a wave 2 down. Wave 2s tend to be very, very sharp, right? Hitting into those areas of the 0.618 to the 0.7 area, right? 786, very, very often target. But at the moment, we are looking for an A wave down, a B wave up, and a C wave down. This ABC could also happen on the wave 4 on the other scenario, but we like to keep it in this move as WXYs are more common in a wave 4 and ABCs are more common in a wave 2. So if we then zoom into this chart, what we would be looking for is multiple 1-2s towards the downside. You can see that we have a 1 in purple, 2 up, and now we're looking for a 1 in red, 2 up, and now a big move down in wave 3. Very, very easy way to trade multiple 1-2s like this, we often have a move that goes 1-2, 1-2, big wave up in wave 3, followed by a 4-5, 4-5. You can see a channel on channel, big break, channel and channel, right? So very, very easy. You spot the first channel, wait for the breakout, spot the second channel, and then wait for the 3-wave move down into a support box. Then this is the current scenario then we are looking at in the 1-2s, followed by the A. We would then see a 3-wave structure in B and another 5-wave structure in C, taking out the low of A. That area again targets around the $102,300 region to $90,600 for this wave 2, and can go deeper if it really wanted to. Right? Now, for our third scenario on the chart, the most bullish scenario in my opinion, and in multiple people's opinion, as this is a multi 1-2. You can see how we have the possible channel up, followed by a big break, followed by multiple 4-5s. At the moment, I see this as very, very low likelihood, just because this wave 1 up is a very, very difficult way to count 5 waves up and looks more like a 3-wave structure. And in the wave 1 in purple, it is also very difficult to count 5 waves up. So this is very, very low probability on my chart. But those are all 3 scenarios currently. Then we have to look at a chart that is very, very important, which is the USDT.D chart. This is the USDT dominance. Now, Bitcoin and USDT dominance are inversely correlated, which means the one goes up and the other one would end up going down at the same time, right? We can see here that we have in the last 4 hours quite a good move up on the USDTD. You can see here, if I zoom in, quite a good move up on the USDTD. And what has Bitcoin done? It has fallen down. So if we analyze this chart just with basic trend lines and possible support and resistance, we have this triangle that is forming here at the moment. If we break out positively to this triangle, we could see a massive move down for Bitcoin. But if we end up consolidating here, using this as resistance and breaking down, we could see a big support and a move up for Bitcoin on the chart. So we must just watch this and keep this in mind. There's also some support, resistance sitting above us over here on the 4-hourly time frame. You can see it was used as resistance quite a few times before, right? So that is the only support and resistance I have on this chart. Then on the Bitcoin chart, back on that chart, we have a more support and resistance to look at and possible trend lines as well. We can see here that these are the trend lines that I currently see on the chart. We can see here this larger degree trend line that has held price for quite a long time, but is possibly going to hold price one more time when we come down to it again, right? Then followed by that, we could get one more move up to complete the bull market, and then the breakdown of this trend line. Then if we zoom into the 1-hour chart, we do indeed have more trend lines here, possibly a falling wedge or falling triangle coming into play, but very, very makeshift, as there's only 2 touches of each side. Then another makeshift one that we have on the chart is this trend line here on the 4-hourly. That is also quite makeshift, only 2 touches again. If we come down, touch this, then we can use it as a valid trend line. The only main trend line that holds currently is the larger degree over here. Then on the support and resistance, if we take away the trend lines, we can see here that we are currently flipping this red box here that was used as support into a resistance. Very, very dangerous. And the only other support sits at only around $100,000 again. We could see some support off the around $105,000 line, as this is quite a few volume profiles, as I've seen on other creators' content, and just some middle range support from the range that we previously had. So median lines are also often used as support again and come down to those areas again. So look, keep in mind that area of $105,000, and keep in mind that if we come down here, use this again, we could see more downward moves in the future off this resistance box here. Now, for trade possibilities on the 4-hourly time frame. Currently on the 4-hourly time frame, we are finishing the move W, right? Either we are finishing the move W or the entire WXY correction is complete, right? So now we need to look at confluences. What confluences do we have that this move here is possibly going to turn around at W? Besides the Elliott Wave count, we have the possible trend lines that sit at around $103,000. If we are to range a little bit, come down, we would be sitting at the possible trend lines. Followed by that, we would then look at the USDTD chart, right? The USDT chart I've mentioned before is indeed inversely correlated. And if we move up into this support box, the likelihood that we will come down to that $105,000 level is high. And followed by that, we could see a move down before breaking this support box in the end to come into another move down. Remember, so this would be the W, which is going down in Bitcoin, the X, which is going up in Bitcoin, and then the Y, which is going down in Bitcoin, right? If we go back to the Bitcoin chart, which we will now, I can show you then. So the confluence with this support box is very, very high. Us moving into this area and then rejecting from it is a possibility that we move to around that $105,000 level and then use that level as support. So those are our two confluences, and that is the trade I'm going to give you today. It is the first trade since we've been back on the channel, so quite a cool one, and it will be posted in the Discord channel as well. So please go check it out in the Discord. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Do enjoy and subscribe to the YouTube channel down below if you enjoyed the content. But it's been Max Trades Crypto. Cheers, guys.